I was born in Alamance County, and then we moved back to Orange County, went to Orange High School, and just never, I've left, but I've always ended up coming back. I always thought it was this little bit of a romanticism, if you will, about staying in one place. You know, you knew everybody, the old people, you would go to their funerals, and you remember seeing your old high school sweethearts and stuff. That part's true, and it's really, really neat because really you kind of know who you are. My father bought a welder when I was about 9, and even if he was here today, you were to ask him why did he buy a welder, he probably couldn't even tell you why. And I just piddled with it. I had a good friend of mine that we were in the 3rd grade. We would build if we could put a Briggs & Stratton 5 horsepower motor on a wheelbarrow and have a broken arm by lunch. That was our plan. Through high school, I was still welding off and on, but my plan was I wanted to be a veterinarian. And the only way to become a veterinarian was I had to play baseball for North Carolina State. And then I got a letter from NC State that they used a French word that I'd never heard before, and it was au contraire. You will not be playing baseball for NC State. You will not be attending NC State. So I was in the backup mode. What do I do now? I gravitated to it because it was sparks and fire and anything that was the need of a garden hose and a fire extinguisher and an accident form. I was all for it. And my responsibilities here at Alamance Community College are really, I'm the department head. My responsibilities are recruiting students, everything from budgets to core syllabuses, designing courses, and just making sure they don't burn their lips and faces off and stuff like that. Welding was one of those things that opened a lot of doors for me. Of course, one got shut on the baseball deal, but I ended up starting to work for a race team because I could weld. Later on, I became a pilot, and then you just kind of progressively change your life and just to do those things. And I don't know what I want to do when I grow up. And just, I don't feel old. And I look in the mirror and I'm like, holy crap, you got a bunch of white hair on your beard. But we all go through it. But those are stair steps, and whenever I talk to students, it sounds boastful, and what you can put a spin on it and you sound like a real knucklehead. Say, oh yeah, I do this. But at times I try to use that, look, this is a stepping stone. It doesn't matter where you go, you can apply that trade, that knowledge, that skill. Once the old saying about teach them how to fish and they'll smell all day long or something like that. I can't remember how it works, but teach them, feed a fish, get him for a day, and then teach him how to fish. He's good for a long, long time. A trade is just exactly that. Once you've got it, it doesn't matter how old you are. If you're old and you can't do it, you can teach somebody. Somebody will pay you to teach them. If you're young enough, you apply it. And the older I get, the more I appreciate all the things that my parents, my aunts, uncles, my aunts, all those things that you can do with these old grimy old man hands. There's a lot to it. There's a lot to it in your life. It's something that's missed. You guys are building a film, but you're using your mind, you're figuring it out, you're doing something. I'm not much for theory. I want to do it. For my generation, it makes you proud to see people that don't mind, getting a little bit of dusty and, falling on your butt and getting kind of dusting your hat off and dusting your britches off. So, okay, all right, I got you next time, but this time, all right, you got me. That's what it's all about, being able to do something.